If you are wanting to create a Copilot that has an FAQ or is able to answer frequently asked questions that you want to set up within Microsoft Copilot Studio, then you are in the right place, because that is exactly what we're going to be talking about right now. So here I am within Microsoft Copilot Studio, and this is my Coffee Copilot, and I've actually gone ahead, not covering it in this video, but I have actually gone ahead and uploaded a PDF for my Coffee FAQ within my Copilot within Microsoft Copilot Studio. If you have extra questions on how to attach a PDF, you can follow this linked video here. And that's also going to kind of talk about, almost double dip into what we're talking about in this video. But nonetheless, I have created an FAQ document. I just want to say, you might be in a scenario where your FAQ is not a PDF and is maybe online or in a SharePoint site. Those things are perfectly viable knowledge sources that you can add within this knowledge base, as we may call it. You can just select add knowledge and figure out and select the one that you need. A couple of points though that I want to make is that there are some improvements that you can make to the knowledge base, I guess, parts themselves. So for example, that you can improve the PDF that will help Copilot understand what it needs. So here I have, let me scroll back up to the top. Here I have my Coffee FAQ, and this is basically just a 7-page text document of coffee questions and coffee answers. And this is segmented using the correct headings and titles and all sorts of different things so that Copilot can really understand how all of the language within this document are all connected, so that way it can really easily get its answer. And so, for example, this is actually kind of a title. This is a heading 1, and these are all heading 2s. If you are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, I'm not getting too much in the weeds, but if you have any sort of experience with search engine optimization or anything like that, then that is going to be what I'm talking about here. So setting up your knowledge source in a way that's effective for Copilot to use. And one thing in particular that I have seen is you might run into some trickiness when you're trying to use your website. Now, if your website and the content on it is accessible by Bing, then it is generally accessible by Copilot, assuming there's no firewalls or anything like that that are particularly tricky to get to, your website or the FAQ on your website. But another thing to know is if the questions and answers on your website are not actually text, maybe they're like in screenshots, so to speak, Copilot is likely going to struggle with getting the answers that you need back. So just setting up the knowledge sources in a way that makes sense for Copilot to be able to understand it. And I mean, if you have, your FAQs stored on your website, generally from, what we might call a management perspective or an application lifecycle management perspective, it might be really easy to just use your website, if possible, as the knowledge source, because then as you update your website, then the information that the Copilot is using is going to update automatically as well, where say you stored all the FAQ information within your website and a PDF, and Copilot only accessed the PDF. Obviously, as you update your website, the PDF is not going to get updated, which means the Copilot could be out of date. So just things to consider when attaching knowledge sources or FAQ stuff to your Copilot. Now, continuing on, I want to dip our toes into the concept of topics. And if you're unfamiliar, topics are just how you can segment your Copilot's purposes into different segments, I guess, different areas. And so if your Copilot serves more than one purpose other than just an FAQ, which if you're, let me continue on this thought. If your Copilot serves more than one purpose, then you should have a topic for each of those purposes. And even if it just serves one purpose, even if it's just an FAQ agent, you should still have an FAQ topic. That's just going to be kind of the one topic that your Copilot follows. So if we need to create a new topic, let me begin sharing again. here I'm within topics. We need to create our FAQ topic. I'm going to go ahead and select add topic from blank. And I'm going to title our topic coffee FAQ. And every topic has a trigger, and it can be triggered through several different ways, but we just want it to be triggered by generative AI. That's what it means, or triggered by agent, or triggered by the Copilot. And so there are several different ones that you could check out in here and build your Copilot out as necessary, but we want to just use this, write a short description of what the topic does so your agent or your Copilot can understand what it does and when to use it. And I'm just gonna say that this is our frequently asked questions, or FAQ Copilot, that can answer questions people have regarding coffee. So here I have typed that in. Let me throw a period on there. This contains frequently asked questions and answers to commonly asked questions people have regarding coffee. I would highly recommend, if you feel like that your trigger is not triggering, it is because your description is poor. And I am by no means a professional topic description writer, but tinker with this. You can add a fair amount of text in here. One thing, couple notes, don't really add acronyms to this. Don't add like complex sentences. It's okay if your sentences like run on. Like you could say, this topic does this, and this, and this, and this, or this, and this. I get from maybe a reader's perspective that doesn't read very nice, but from a large language model perspective, it reads nice. So nonetheless, tinker around with that. If you feel like your topic is not triggering, this is likely why. Now, what we're going to do is click this plus button to add a Generative Answers node. It's going to be here underneath Advanced. And the Generative Answer node is basically, hey, Copilot, go and work your large language Gen AI magic at this point in time within the topic or within the conversation. And so you'll notice there's a couple of settings that we need to set up. That is going to be the input, and that is also going to be kind of the properties or the data sources that you see here. Now, what we want to happen is, I'm thinking through the chat experience. Here I have, hey, welcome to Coffee Copilot. How can I help you? And at this point, say I respond with a question of, hey, what makes good coffee beans compared to bad coffee beans? Like, what are the difference between those? Say I want to ask that question, and I send that to Copilot. Because that's a frequently asked question, this topic is going to be triggered. And you'll see that once the topic is triggered, we want it to instantly start working its magic. But the input defines what Copilot works its magic with. And so at this point, it's not going to get anything. It's not going to know what to go and search against and what to go figure out. So what we wanted to actually use is our last message. The last message we sent, that, hey, what's the difference between good coffee beans and bad coffee beans? Now, you'll see here it says enter or select a value. If I select this caret here, it's going to pop out the ability to select variables. You have custom variables, which are variables that you have created. You have system variables. These are kind of ones that come out of the box with every Copilot. And what we are looking for is the activity.text variable. This variable is going to store whatever the last message you sent was into this. So when we select this, this means that whatever the last message I sent, Copilot is going to go and work its Gen AI magic with that content, which in our scenario is what we want. So you're going to want to add that input here. Now, getting into kind of setting up the settings or the properties, I'm going to go ahead and select edit on these data sources. And here we have the knowledge source kind of setting I just want to highlight and talk to you about. And so this is going to be, you can have it search only certain knowledge sources within your knowledge base. And so in our example, we likely want it to search all of these if this is just our general FAQ agent, like this is all that it does. But in our scenario, let's say that we only wanted it to search one specific knowledge source. Now, Why would that be? Say, again, coming back to the point, say your agent does several different things and you have a bunch of different knowledge sources that are kind of specific to those things. You know, you have a products topic that's specific to products. Maybe you have, a topic that's related to the sales process that you'd like your salespeople to follow. And say you have a topic to go and search the database for inventory. Then say you have different knowledge sources for these, these two different things. You might want to kind of nitpick, hey, this, topic should only use these sources. This topic should only use these sources. You just have that setting available for you to know. As well, I'd highly recommend you check out the other things in here. Not going to cover those in this video, but lots of cool settings that you can set up and configure. But now, nonetheless, we have selected our knowledge sources. While this is saving, I just want to say, if you still have questions that I am not answering in this video, one, let me know down in the comments down below. But two, you can follow the first link at the very top of the description in this video to get in direct contact with me. I love learning more about Microsoft Copilot Studio and helping others learn as well. So if you follow that first link, you're going to be able to directly email me and we can set up some one-on-one coaching time to help each other learn. So just wanted to let you know that that is available. Our topic is done saving. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this here. And now it's time to kind of ask my general question, my frequently asked question, my FAQ. Let's see, what makes good coffee beans? Here is my my frequently asked question. We can see that it is kind of working. We can see here from the conversation map that our coffee FAQ topic, the one we had just created, was triggered and was used to generate this answer, right? If I kind of select on this message, we can see that there's this checkbox here. This is where it generated its answer from. I don't want to spend too much time through this, but I think somewhere near the top of this is where what makes good coffee beans. All right, I'm not finding it, but that's okay. But nonetheless, it got this information. It got this information from that. That is kind of a intro on how you can set up your FAQ agent. I just want to let you know, this stuff is not easy. This stuff is not intuitive. So if you are learning and figuring out how to do this, I want to give you, the gold star sticker. You're crushing it. This stuff is not intuitive. And thank you so much for being here and potentially learning something with me. I just want to say, if you find this sort of video impactful or insightful, you should come hang out with me on Wednesdays. We have our Power Talks podcast conversations series where we talk to other experts about Microsoft Copilot Studio, the Power Platform, Microsoft Dynamics, how we can grow as consultants and developers and grow our careers. But okay, that is my spiel. If you have questions on how to add a PDF document into your Copilot, follow this video here. It's going to be a step-by-step guide on how to do that. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of the video. My name is Griffin Lickfeld, the host of the Citizen Developer channel, and I'm excited to connect with you in the next one.